The most important work of leaders is to take the best out of their team. Help them develop as human beings, professionals. This is the most important task of any leader. For this, they have to start knowing themselves. And there are lots of tools available to do so. I have used Myers-Briggs, DISC, Leadership Circle Profile, and the one that I love the most is the Strengthsfinder. I have been using it for decades, and the best use of it was in India because the whole region was using it. So when I arrived there, my whole team was already evaluated on the Strengthsfinder. I used a lot with my leadership team. I made the 5 strengths of each of my team and I put in Excel, and then I could evaluate my team. I could understand how we can work better together. I found, for example, that 4 strengths were unique of each of some people. So these strengths probably people would not express so much because they would be overwhelmed by the strengths of other people. So, for example, for me, positivity was one strength that only I had from the 8 people team. But what we had in common was maximizer, achiever, connectedness. So we knew that there were many strengths in common. So for this, it was very good for us to evaluate that probably we would be biased to some decisions because we had some strengths that were very much in common and we would focus on it. And this would be what we would find similarities and agreement. So we had to understand that this would bias our decisions. Another thing that it was very important, we found that the diversity that we had would work very well if we would allow each one to talk about their opinion first when certain issues would come up. We knew also when there were some conflicts that probably it would be because we were fighting with our strengths and we would not understand the other. So knowing each other by evaluating ourselves with some assessment like the Strengthsfinder helped me a lot to know my team, to know myself, to help them to know each other. And then the most important, it started to build deeper connections and relations among us. Then they were doing the same with their teams and we were learning to relate to each other better and know each other better so we could do our best for our patients. Try to find a way to assess yourself and your team in terms of knowing ourselves better, and to know our strengths better will help a lot for us to complement strengths instead of looking what are the weaknesses and trying to develop it. If we know our strengths and we can complement each other, this would take the best out of all teams.